Welcome to the Going North podcast, where we will deliver you tips and techniques to advance yourself and anything you decide to do. I am your host, Dom Brightman, and every Thursday I will interview authors, especially self-published ones from various walks of life, and they will deliver you information and inspiration to help you charge forward. Be sure to check out my book, Going North, on Amazon.com. It's available on ebook, paperback, and audiobook. Now let's get on with the show. So today on the Going North podcast, you are going to be making all kinds of gains in your business and in your life, because we have a special guest by the name of Nancy Gaines. I'll tell you a little bit about Nancy. She is the CEO and founder of Gain Advantages Incorporated and has been advising small businesses and Fortune 500 companies on how to increase revenues through proven systems for almost 2 decades. She is a best-selling author and international keynote speaker. Nancy has been named in the top 100 productivity experts to follow on Twitter and has a global podcast downloaded in over 70 countries. Her main focus is creating business processes with actionable steps so her clients can achieve more consistency, ease, and ultimate success. So how you feeling, Nancy?
Wow, what an honor to be on your show. Thank you for inviting me.
Oh, thanks for agreeing to be a guest. So, beyond the bio, tell us a bit about yourself and how you got to where you currently are today.
So I never thought I would be an entrepreneur. I loved the corporate jobs. I was traveling all over the world, consulting with IBM and Ernst & Young to Fortune companies. And one day I was sitting in this personal development workshop, and I decided, there's so much more out there. I need to do bigger things. But I'm busy right now. I have to break up with something, so I decided to just quit my job. I never thought when I woke up that morning I would actually write a resignation note. But that's what I did, and then thought maybe I should tell my husband, make sure he's on board. I was hoping he would talk me out of it, saying being an entrepreneur is scary and you don't have a steady paycheck and it's really hard, but instead he gives me this big hug and says, "You've got this, sweetie, go for it." And that's my story.
Wow, so you took that big leap of faith.
I did, and to be honest, it was tough the first couple of years. There were days where I was super frustrated because it wasn't moving as fast, and being an employee is actually a little easier because you're the go-to person. People know you know how to do something, and they go to you for that. When you're an entrepreneur, you start from square one, and you have to build your brand and build your clients, and it's way different, and it's difficult at first. So today I love helping people who have been in their business about 1 or 2 years fast-track their success so they don't quit, because the world needs more entrepreneurs.
Yes, that's true, especially since we're in the 21st century and entrepreneurship seems to be the trendy thing nowadays. Everybody has the side gig and trying to turn into a viable business, but they may not always know how to do it because they just take that jump, and of course they need folks like you or productivity experts just to help them just think of things that they may not have thought of.
Absolutely. I read a statistic the other day. By 2020, which is only just barely over 2 years away from today, 50% of the 50% of the U.S. are going to be entrepreneurs. So 1 out of 2 people are going to be business owners of some kind, and that's a huge statistic.
Yeah, it is a huge statistic too, and it's kind of funny. It's like we're less than 3 years away from 2020 vision.
Yeah, that's true. I like that. Way to tie it together.
Definitely. So you mentioned how in your first two years you were kind of struggling along the way. So what trials did you have to overcome just to really keep it going, since you were just in the starting phase of everything?
Probably my biggest obstacle, and I see this with my own clients, is really niching down to your superpower. And what I mean by that is being a management consultant to Fortune companies, I needed to have a huge range of skills. Even if you were like a 50% fit, the consulting company would put you on a project and you'd have to figure out the other 50%. So how do I know what was my one thing that I was really good at that I can help other people at? And this is where it gets tricky, is because productivity to me is natural, and I assume everybody knows how to do this. So to me, it's not a superpower, but to somebody else, they're like, how do you stay so organized? How do you make the best use of your time? And that's when I realized that really was my superpower. So do you know what your superpower is? One thing that you're really good at and people come to you and say, help me with this. You're an expert.
Well, my superpower, I would say, will be my positive attitude.
Awesome. That's a great answer. You knew that one right away. So as you get older, like me, with decades of experience, it's really hard to pick that one thing that you're going to change the world with. So yeah, that was my biggest struggle, is what is it, and then how do I articulate that so people say, I want to work with you, I want the results that you have.
Wow, that is awesome. And I like how you called it a superpower. It's kind of like you give yourself an edge and think of yourself as a superhero, sometimes with or without a cape if you're into The Incredibles.
I should get a cape. I think it'd be fun to have a cape in my office just to look over and remind myself of how I can impact people. But yeah, superpower is a fun word. It sounds better than, I don't really like gift or, inherit gift. It sounds good, but I want it to be different and powerful.
Oh, like a superpower.
Exactly. So my favorite thing to do is helping people gain back at least 10 hours in their work week, because people are busy. We've got something called information obesity, meaning information is everywhere.
I love that.
It's really easy. It's easy to get distracted. So I love helping people just gain back a full day every week. And I ask them, so I'll ask you, what would you do if you had a full day back every week? How would you spend it?
If I had a full day back, I would finish everything that I procrastinated on.
You take a 3-day weekend, right?
Oh, that'll be icing on the cake.
Bonus, yeah. So I just imagine, 4 days a month, what could people do with that? They could work 3 weeks and take a week off. They could spend more time with their family. They could exercise more. There's so much you can do with time when you figure out how to really use it in the right way.
That is awesome. Information obesity. So in a way, you're helping folks to gain the advantage. You're helping them to get that six-pack in their productivity skill. I love it.
You have a gift with words. I like how you weaved in gain and in the introduction, and now you're weaving it in here. Nice job. Well done.
Oh, thank you. So since with the management consulting and everything, what really led you to the whole superpower of productivity?
Well, that's a great question. What I was finding, so when I was consulting, I would leave my house on Monday mornings at like the crack of dawn, got up at 3, was out the door by 4, and then I would get home Thursdays around midnight. And what I was seeing with some of my colleagues on Thursday afternoon is this is really powerful. I still remember this from about 3 years ago. I heard one of my colleagues calling home to tell his kids he would not be home to take them trick-or-treating. It was Halloween. And I could just hear this man's voice. Well, he was a guy, not necessarily he was probably in his 30s or 40s, telling his kids, Daddy still has work to do. There's too much to get done. I'm not able to leave today, so I can't take you trick-or-treating. I'll see you tomorrow. And it just like crushed me to hear, because I knew he could be so much more productive if he knew the right tools. And to hear people tell their kids they have to miss their games and their recitals and Halloween because they have to work, that's when I realized I did have a gift, and it was my responsibility to share that with people.
Phenomenal. That's beautiful right there, because a lot of families, especially nowadays where it's just both parents working 40 hours a week. Well, actually, if you count in the preparation time and the commute time back and forth, it could be really 50, almost 60 hours a week each.
Yeah, and who wants to work that much? It's just, there's so much more to do in life than to work. So yes, now I help small business owners because we're all in that early state. wearing all the hats, working all the hours. There's always something to get done. I want them to quickly get through that phase of their business so that they can move on and be where the business does more work. They get their business to produce more instead of them producing more, and then everybody benefits from that.
Alrighty. Speaking of benefits, you helped a lot of folks in the reading category to benefit from reading with your, I believe, the latest book, Gain the Advantage, on how to use horror for free publicity. So what led to that?
So there's something called helpareporter.com, and this is amazing. It used to be a Facebook group many, many years ago where reporters would get some sort of assignment and not know about their topic. So they would reach out to their friends and say, hey, does anybody know about, like the best summer barbecue recipes, or how to be more productive in my situation, or in your situation, how do you launch a podcast? And it grew so big that they had to move it off Facebook and put it onto just a regular website. So today, there are reporters from ABC and CNN and World News and all these amazing media places looking for sources. So if you answer their questions, they're going to say, hey, Nancy Gaines, who quotes blah, 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 at nancygaines.com, just gave us this great quote, and then I get free publicity. So that's kind of the gist of it in 30 seconds. The book's called How to Get Free Publicity Using HARO, H-A-R-O, that's the acronym, and they can get it at Amazon. Just search under Nancy Gaines, G-A-I-N-E-S. But what a great way for small business owners to get recognized and even business. I know one person who landed $27,000 from new business just from one quote. Super, super cool.
Wow.
Yeah, who doesn't like free, right? Free time, free publicity, free clients.
I guess the saying goes, any publicity is good publicity, right?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, especially in one part where it mentions how you're submitting all these letters and then you finally got one from the folks at Hypnobusters. That one was amazing.
I did the happy dance. Finally, I figured out everything should be a system. If you don't have systems in your business, you really don't have a business. So I teach people how to put systems in place to do the work. I finally realized after submitting to and pitching to reporter after reporter and finally getting picked, I had a system. I finally figured out what worked, and that's what's in the book, is telling people, here's how you answer reporters so that they pick you and feature you for free. So yeah, I don't know who Hypnobusters is, but 6 a.m. when I found out that I was picked, I'm like doing the happy dance and waking up my husband, who was not very happy about me waking him up. But when you're excited, you want to share that news with somebody important in your life.
Yeah, exactly.
No matter what time of the morning it is. Wake up, I got featured, yay. And then it just got bigger than that. I was on Trulia, and let's see where else, just a bunch of financial publications, because I'm also a real estate owner. So lots of real estate questions. So try it out, guys, helpareporter.com.
That's right, because I was able to pick up this book and underline a few things, because I was able to snag one TV interview for a local news station. And then after reading this book over the weekend, I was like, hey, there's some stuff I could have sharpened up, which is great. Because like always keeping the word count in mind, because nowadays, folks, if it's like 3 paragraphs on an email on a desktop, if they see it on the phone, they think it's a 500-page book. So you got to be careful with that.
Yes, that's true. Well, the good thing about that book is I call it a bathroom book, meaning you can read it in one sitting. I'll let that sit for a while. It's a very short book, but very packed with tips.
Bathroom sit for a while.
Hey, I'm trying to be as funny as you. I think you're better at it, but I stepped up to your podcast and tried to match you.
Oh, man. So, what advice would you give to someone who's looking to basically make all kinds of gains, being a best-selling author, a speaker, a management consultant, just being not the Nancy Gaines, but being like you, at least getting to almost to your level of success and defining it as their own?
The advice I would give people is to be consistent and just keep trying things. Almost everything can be undone, is what I tell people, meaning go out there and try something, and if it doesn't work, try something else. But you have to take that first step and the second step. You can't just put one foot out there because it doesn't move you forward. You have to take 2 steps and reevaluate, do more of what's working, and then break up with things that aren't working. Just break up with them and try something different. And don't be afraid. That would be the advice I would tell people.
So you hear that, folks? If you got bad habits or bad boyfriends, you got to break up with them.
I broke up with my job. I broke up with things that don't work in marketing. You got to just keep trying. Here's a great tip too. Here's how you know. A lot of times I see entrepreneurs wanting to quit or people wanting to quit. Here's how you know that you're on the right track and don't quit, because a lot of people quit too early. As soon as people start coming to you versus you going out there. For example, I've been asked to be on a lot of productivity summits, online summits, and I've been asked to come speak when I haven't even pitched my speech. As soon as people start recognizing you for your superpower and coming to you, that's when you know you're at least moving in the right direction, and don't give up. Just keep going, because you're going to have this major breakthrough really soon.
I love that. That's actually a very great tip. I like that.
Otherwise, you don't know, right? There's no feedback in entrepreneurship until, it's only your self-feedback until you get some momentum. So as soon as people start coming to you, even for little things, saying, could I just have a cup of coffee with you? I want to run something by you, and they're asking about your superpower, you're on the right track.
Yeah, because I bet a lot of things changed when folks saw that you were making all these TV appearances, and then, of course, releasing your books as well. I'm pretty sure the conversations changed, and folks started coming to you bit by bit, and then eventually swarming you, right?
Yeah, I just learned what that's called. It's called lurkers. They lurk. They watch you. They watch. Like, is this person going to make it? Are they going to be around? Because people don't want to invest with you if you're going to just be gone the next day. So they lurk. And then something finally tips them from a lurker to a fan or a client or something.
That's right. The haters, they make it greater.
Yeah.
So, being a lover of books and reading yours, has there been a special book or a specific set of books that have really inspired you, or ones that you would recommend to others?
So on productivity, I don't know how I got this book. It just showed up in my mailbox, by Graham Elcott. It's called The Productivity Ninja.
Ooh. There's
some really good Productivity Ninja, Ninja. Lots of really tactical advice in there on how to gain back time. So I really love some of his concepts. The other one is by Mark W. Schaefer, and it's called Known. It talks about how it takes lots of consistency and being everywhere before you finally have that breakthrough, like you were just talking about in your previous question. Known, Known. It talks about picking select social media and being responsive to people that comment, and just basically being everywhere, and eventually you'll have a breakthrough. So those 2 books, Productivity Ninja and Known.
So I guess the Productivity Ninja, that helped you to define, like, hey, I wonder if he's doing what I'm doing, or just comparing notes.
Yeah, I was lurking for sure on that one. I admit it. But the cool thing that I really like what he says, and I don't know what he named it, but I name it your power hour. It's a time of day where you are just totally on, where everything that happens in that hour is effortless. It's like whether you're a morning person or a night owl. But when you find that 1 hour, you have to spend it really, really smartly, meaning don't waste your productivity hour surfing the internet and liking people's stuff on Facebook. Spend that hour doing something that really moves you forward, whether it's planning out your goals for the next year, whether it's writing a intense blog, whatever, something that requires a lot of energy. You have to match your energy to the task. So I loved how he put that. You've got low energy, medium energy, and high energy. Spend the right energy on the right task.
Yeah, that's true, because I've learned that being a night owl is kind of where I'm usually at. And sometimes my best times of getting stuff done is usually at night, sometimes at like 10 to 12. That's when I can usually get most of my writing, I guess, typing in a way since it's on the computer, but get that done.
That's super smart. So from 10 to 12, you should write. You shouldn't be watching like the late night show stuff. That would just be a really waste. That would be a huge waste of your power hour. Use it for writing. Excellent. I'm glad you recognize that.
And since you mentioned happy dance, is there any music that inspires you to get ready and get you moving?
Well, check this out. This is a great question. This morning I went to the gym. I really like the moving stairs, not the Stairmaster, the ones that's like a mini escalator where you actually have to walk upstairs. It's the hardest cardio machine I've ever done. So I walk in, and there's this personal trainer just blaring her music for a group of 3 people, and she had country on. And I was like, I'm not going to even listen to my iPod. This is so much better. So I turned off my music and was like singing to her music. So yeah, country music in the gym really inspires me. And I'm going to a concert tomorrow night, so super excited about that as well.
First time I ever heard about country music playing in the gym.
I was shocked. First she had a regular song on. She had like, I don't know, Pink or somebody like that. And then all of a sudden I'm like, I know this song. I know this song too. I know this song. So it made my workout go super fast. And it was fun.
So I guess not only capes, I guess you get that cowgirl hat to your repertoire.
I didn't want to sweat on it. Otherwise I would have.
Alrighty. So what one powerful piece of advice would you give to yourself if you were 25 in 2017?
I would tell my younger self to be so much more confident. People look at me today and assume I've always been confident, but I was really, really shy and geeky up to about 35 years old. Like, I totally bombed my first job interview. I had no job coming out of college. I had one interview, and I totally bombed it because I couldn't carry a conversation. So going back, I would say talk to people. They're just regular people, and be more confident for sure.
That is very sound advice, because confidence is key, especially with endeavors like starting a business or writing a book or anything.
Yeah, just do it, like Nike says, because here's the funny thing. I think people are paying attention to them a lot more than they really are. People think everyone's watching them. People are busy. They're not watching you. They're focused on their own stuff. So quit worrying about what other people think. Just go out there and do something and be confident with it, because you'll probably succeed a lot faster.
Yeah, and I also like the fact that you mentioned how that the current Nancy, like Nancy 7.5, is like ultra confident. And folks think you're always at this high level of confidence, but they never see the times where they may have to be with themselves to get into that zone, or the activities they may have had to do to break out of that shell, to go from turtle to like a kangaroo, to be able to just hop and jump in social activities and just be confident. So that is great. Well, alrighty. So how do we keep in contact with you, Nancy, and keep up with what you're doing and support your book and all that good stuff?
Well, thank you for asking. I have several free goodies, and I was trying to think what would be the best one for your particular listeners. And what I chose, I rarely do this, but I want to do it for your people. I want to help them gain back at least 10 hours of their week. So I am going to give one of my programs out, not just a report. One of my programs is called the Productivity Accelerator Success System, PASS, and it's 4 30-minute audios just to help people gain back some time. So they can get that at my website, nancygaines.com/PASS, Productivity Accelerator Success System, nancygaines.com/PASS. And that's a $497 value that I don't even sell anymore. It's just a program that I gift to people that are very, very special, like your listeners. So that's how they can find me, and I hope they really gain back some time. And send me an email, nancy@nancygaines.com, on what you're doing with that free time.
Well, That is very, very kind of you, Nancy. Thank you very much.
Absolutely. I think that will serve more people and just really make a difference in the world and people's lives and their quality of time.
That's right, because you can get money back, but you aren't going to get your time back.
It's the universal equalizer. We all have the same amount, no matter what we do in our day jobs.
It's true. Well, alrighty, I wasn't kidding when I said this guest was going to help you to make all kinds of gains. Make sure you shoot Nancy an email so you can get your hands and your ears on that productivity goodness to amplify your life and make all kinds of gains and to get the ultimate advantage. Thank you, Nancy.
Thank you for the opportunity to share my message with your listeners.
Thanks a bunch for your tuning ears on the Going North podcast. I hope you enjoyed that episode. Be sure to, once again, check out my book, Going North, on Amazon.com and CreateSpace.com. And if you'd like, feel free to follow me on social media at Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram, all at Dom Brightman, YouTube at Dom Brightman. And if you want to connect on LinkedIn as well, I am there at Dom Brightman as well. Go out there and make the rest of your week the best.